So it's been a really busy month for us here at Nourish. Anything from being up at the farm at 4 Acre, down to some of the beach events we've been up to down at Sobo Beach, to being really busy and getting super excited with the online community that we're setting up at Nourish Lifestyles. And today, I'm joined here today with James Freeman, who is a great friend of ours, who has been a big follower and a fan and a supporter of Nourish since what, 2022, James? Was it roughly
About
2022?
2022, yeah, that's right, Rich.
Where James came on one of our workshops, and it was pretty obvious from the start that we were pretty aligned with some of our views and some of our goals that we wanted to achieve in life. And then in the last few months, James has actually come on board with Nourish Lifestyles to help us really shape and steer it into something really awesome. So today, James and I are going to be having a great chat about some of the themes that we've been playing with, some of the events we've got coming up, and we're going to talk about the online community. So, James, awesome, really good to be with you again as always, mate. And yeah, how are you? You good?
Thanks, Rich. Yeah, really, really good. Thanks, mate. It's funny when you talk about like the last couple of months, we've achieved so much. We've had all these Nourish Sunday sessions we've been
Yeah,
running, like the some online sessions, and now we've opened the community as well online. So yeah,
I know.
I feel like we've really taken the little things now, and things are really happening. So yeah, feeling good.
Yeah, no, it's great, mate. It really is. And it's like Nick and I have wanted to move more into this space of Nourish for a long time. And having you part of that is just incredible. And you're really helping really shape things. So obviously, why don't we just talk quickly about the last Nourish Sundays and what it let's recap for anyone who doesn't know what Nourish Sundays is and just kind of tell them what the theme was last Sunday and yeah, and yeah, just talk about it.
Yeah, thanks, Rich. So our monthly session down at Sobo Beach in Bournemouth. We got together and we really investigated and explored how body, mind, and movement are really all interconnected in the way they make you feel. And I think, what was really like, relevant about it right now is that modern life is pulling us out of this connection. Like it's pulling our mind in one way. Our bodies are getting stuck because of like the way we're sitting all the time. And yeah, we're kind of out of balance and out of kilter. And it was really good to explore that down on the beach. Beautiful day as well, which always helps. Um,
Yeah,
but I
it
love
w
how some of the practices as well, like things that we can also do offline as well throughout our life. So yeah, how did you enjoy it?
but I loved it. So you and Nick led it. It was some of the main kind of pillars was around the power of breath, mindset, and movement, and it was great because the feedback we got from the community, they really enjoyed it and they really saw the connection between, instead of isolating one thing, it's all connected, isn't it? It's all connected. It all fuels and nourishes our lives, right? So for me, I absolutely loved it because I was kind of busy floating around. I was getting photos, but also I was speaking with people. So it was great how Nick opened with some movement, and then you really shifted more into the mindset. And then I think what was really great is you touched on so many things all around the mind. We often might just think about the body, about our diet, but it's the thoughts that we fuel ourselves with, right? Be it positive or negative. How we think and feel can really dramatically determine the outcomes and the direction we steer our lives. So
Yep.
that piece you did was so impactful, and people absolutely loved that. And then how Nick then went into the breath, it was just this real nice mix.
Yeah, I think it's interesting, and I'm not going to cast any judgment around like something being positive or negative. What I'm
Mhm.
going to say is that we explored some of the states around like are people feeling overwhelmed? Are they feeling like a bit stuck? Are they feeling behind? Um, or are they feeling like a bit overheated in terms of this, yeah, there's so much going on, frustrated. And if you think about like even just the language and the words I use then, they tie really closely to the idea of fight or flight or even freeze. So, that fight, flight, or freeze that we've all heard is actually really relevant in some of the tensions we feel. So, that we explored like some of the language we use to talk to ourselves, but also the way we talk to other people about ourselves. So it's really to say to a friend, "Oh, I'm feeling really behind this week," or I don't know where to start. And that's overwhelm, right?
Yeah.
And we can reframe that by thinking, okay, I have a lot on this week. The next step I'm going to take is. So there's some real simple things we can do, and it's amazing how the words we choose suddenly change the physiology of our body. Like so, we become less kind of like compressed and down to more open, maybe a
Yeah.
bit of a smile on your face,
Yeah.
and that influences the state we're in. So it's all this like it's very cyclical in terms of the way one thing balances out another. And I'm not suggesting we can self-talk ourselves out of any situation. I think it's really important we kind of feel where we're at. But once we feel where we're at, it's also important to acknowledge that we can make some changes. It might be gradual with the language we use to try and get us into a better state.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And one thing, what we do with our Nourish Sunday events is we have a 1 hour focus session around a theme. And then we have this social afterwards. And initially when we started it, we said if people want to hang around and have a chat with us, it'd be great. Just because community really is a superpower. So we wanted to make sure that was mentioned. What we found now is we have like the 1 hour session, and then we have about 1 or 2 hours in some cases where people hang around and talk. And it is just amazing because friendships are made and people super open up. And
Yeah,
it was brilliant to sit there and go between the different groups at the end of the session and just connect with people I've never met before. And by then, it's so cool. I love it. I absolutely love it. And that community aspect, I think it is actually like it's not an afterthought. It's actually like it's like the glue
intentional,
that
right?
yeah,
Yeah, so
absolutely.
it's really interesting you say that, Rich, because like going back to what I was saying then, we actually through play on the last Nourish Sunday session, we asked people to kind of explore where they're at in terms of what state they're living from. So are they feeling a bit frozen or a bit fight or flighty? We did that through play because we played the bingo game, which was quite fun. But what we then did was shift that state, right? So help people move from where they are to something that's a bit more regulated. Where nervous system regulation doesn't always just have to come from like the breath and movement. It can come from the way we talk to ourselves as well. And you say people were stuck around or really open. Well, it's no surprise to me because people moved away from, this perhaps a slightly tentative, like, oh, perhaps I don't belong here, or I'm taking a risk being here, or I'm not feeling great today, to actually feeling, I feel okay, I feel good. I'm around people who get me, I'm around people who understand me. I'm in what a beautiful place I'm in. And as you say, the community conversation just happened from there. So I believe it's not by coincidence at all, Rich.
Yeah, no, that's a great point. And one thing we wanted to do is with Nourish Sundays, the idea is to host it ideally towards the start of every month on a Sunday, so that we saw it as a way to bring people together, to bring like-minded people together, to live and think and act with intention, so that each month it's like a healthy reset. It's a grounding. It's an energizing. It's a community of people. So and then we meet up every month, and the next one will be sometime in August. Dates to be confirmed, and that'll be our fourth one. And it's just I love that. I love the way this is going, and just again building more communities. And so I think because ever since like the knock-on effects, and not to talk about it too much, but the knock-on effects of COVID and the lockdowns, it really destroyed community, and it really played such a devastating effect on a lot of people's mental, emotional, and physical health.
Mm,
And I just feel like what we're doing with Nourish is I have it's just a step towards kind of bringing that back together
yeah.
and building that. And through the Nourish Sundays, through obviously we've been doing now 6 years with Hands in the Soil with the food growing, and then also one of our latest really exciting kind of like ventures we're developing is the Nourish Lifestyles online community,
Yeah.
which has officially gone live to our newest members today, and then next week we really get rocking and rolling.
Yeah, Rich. So I think one thing really comes through for me here, and that's, we've ended up working together because we're passionate about showing leadership in this space. We're passionate about how showing people different ways they can help navigate the world we're living in now, help them live well in the changing world we're in, right?
Yeah.
And for different people, they're in different places, and there's different modalities, let's call them, or different things different people need at different times. And we've done some things with Sarah as well, the wonderful Sarah who can talk to us and share lots of her expertise and wisdom around nutrition and movement as well. So I really feel like we've built up like this all-round puzzle or jigsaw with these different components for people. And what I'm really looking forward to is this doesn't now have to be, oh, I go along once a month, I get a fix, I feel great afterwards. It's we stay connected through the online on the go now throughout the month and
Ab-
throughout your whole life.
Absolutely.
And I know we've got more screen time in our life than ever. I strongly believe that a lot of the things that your people be able to pick up from the community, though, they can do, away from the screen though. So it's just a case of checking in, seeing what the weekly practice or the weekly practices are, and then taking them away. And maybe then coming back saying, hey, this is how I found it, and sharing some feedback or connecting with others. So I like how we're going to be offering things of different size, right? Because I know not everyone can get there for a Sunday morning and spend an hour and a bit together. Sometimes people just have 5 minutes in their day. Yeah, so we're offering something for everyone, and you know, I believe we're not going to change. You're not going to change like your whole mind body connection and your lifestyle from one hour session. It's an accumulation of these good days of doing stuff that's going to build up over time, right? So it's this accumulation that I'm really excited about bringing to people through the online community.
I love that. And yeah, I think the way you just kind of explained that and highlighted some points was bang on because, like you said, some people down to location can join us down on the beach, but the online community is, this will grow into a global community from people from all walks of life, all corners of the world, sharing their stories and bringing people together. And just for anyone who doesn't know really anything about the community. One thing that James, Nick, and I, because the three of us are really steering this, um, is that for us, we, over the last few years of being friends, we have been, without knowing it, but it kind of like the penny dropped recently, is that we have what brought us all together is a number like a few things here. Is number one, it was we wanted to understand and become more aware of some of the big shifts shaping the world. We often hear, the how the world may look by the year 2030. We see that 2030 year more and more these days, and it can mean a number of things. But so we became very interested in looking at how some of the big shifts looking to shape the coming months, years, and the decade ahead. But then, so from that external awareness, how can we think about some of these big shifts to the internal awareness of, well, how do we feel, and how can we stay grounded, regulated, energized in this changing world? And then based on the awareness and the feeling of how we are, then how do we take action? How do we as an individual, as a community, take action with all this awareness and inner understanding? Know thyself. And this is what really brought our friendship so tight and so closer after the last few years. So to now bring those pillars into a community and use that as a foundation to really shape things, along with our founding members, I think is really powerful. And I'm so excited to see where this community where it goes. Really,
Yeah, I think, Rich, it's really important you touched on that, the macro awareness piece, I'm going to call it,
yeah,
because going back to what I said earlier, that really affects the state we're in, or the state we're in affects how we process that information. So if we're living in this state of fear and overwhelm, we know that some of the information we're going to find out there is kind of designed to provoke that, to push it further. And we can choose not to accept that as the path forward, no matter how hard or simplistic that sounds. But we can reframe things. We can choose to see what we see in what we hear. The classic analogy of, you know, Rich, if I said to you, when was the last time you saw a yellow car? You probably can't remember.
No, no.
Um, but now I've said to you, Rich, we're talking about yellow cars today. I bet you go out this afternoon and you see a yellow car because there's actually quite a few more than around than you think. You're going to see a yellow car this afternoon. You'll be like, oh, James said that to me. Yeah, so we
Yeah,
can choose what how we process things, right? And what we look out for in life rather than someone else choosing for us. So that's why I'm really excited about having this awareness of what's happening in the world, like the macro themes, the opportunities from them, the actions we can take, and then also, how our mind and body work alongside that. So uh, sometimes we want to shift some emotions which are stuck in the body. Emotion is described as energy in motion, so we can get rid of that. Um, we can replace it with better feelings, a better state. And I'm just really excited about how all these things really tie together. So for me, I love how we can offer, we're called nourished lifestyles because living in this way, we want to be more positive and intentional about how we live our life. And that's not doesn't just have to be, oh, you know, how many hours did I sleep for last night? How many coffees did I drink or not drink today? It's far more broad than that, and we want to help demystify that for people and actually make it more manageable.
yeah, absolutely. I love that. I think that was so well explained, and yeah, it's so exciting to be doing this now. So I think for anyone who is interested in Nourish and all areas, because Nourish is growing into this ecosystem which I Nick and I have envisioned for a number of years now. We're so excited to be here. But for anyone who wants to learn more about what we're up to, and that's anything from what we do from the food growing, the community food growing, where we have a site now up at 4 Acre Farm in Ringwood. Maybe you want to learn to grow food, get your hands in the soil, connect with us on the land, then I can share links about what we're doing and how we're designing this space. It's such an amazing, beautiful spot, literally right on the doorstep of the New Forest. It's stunning. So watch this space. We also have Nourish Sundays for anyone who can get down to Dorset, get down to Bournemouth, Sobo Beach. You can join us once a month down there. And then for anyone who wants to connect with us online, then we can share with you more about the community we are building and how you can actually help shape it alongside us. Because, yes, we have our ideas, our visions of the direction we want to take it. But again, it's like built with the community for the community.
Yeah.
And that's really kind of right at the ethos, the epicenter of what we do here at Nourish. So, yeah, if you want to be a part of anything, then I'll drop some links somewhere. Our newsletter will be going out, and you can really connect with us and yeah, join us on the journey.
Yeah, Rich, one thing I really just to kind of summarize how everything comes together for us, I think
Mm,
we we we're bringing together like ancient wisdom and practices together with where meeting where we are in the modern world right now. So, I've got extensive experience in AI. I know you do as well. And yet we combine that with the simplicity and the such goodness of having the hands and the soil, the feet in the sand, being able to notice one's breath and where it's at. I just love the combination of this, and
yeah,
it helps us tackle this world and walk the path forward in what is a complex world right now, but it offers so much opportunity to us when we're feeling the right way about it.
yeah, yeah, absolutely. It's like this world where it can be incredibly complex if we want it to, but equally it can be incredibly simple. And we are exploring and navigating that relationship in real time. So yeah, join us on the journey.
Yeah. Well,
But
thanks for having me today, Rich.
oh, James, great to have you here as always, and I'll see you in the community next week.
I'll be posting some new exercises next week. I've
Yeah,
got some great ideas about what I want to drop in. Some small kind of bite-sized exercises which will take, 5, 10 minutes, maybe some even smaller than that for people to go away and do during their week at any time they want to. So I take great pleasure dropping those in for people.
Yeah, I love them. I look forward to it, James. Hey, so good to see you, and I will catch up with you very soon. And for anyone who's checking in with us, great to have you here. Thank you as always for being part of the journey, and we'll catch you guys soon. We'll see you
Take it
next
easy,
time.
Rich.
See you, James. Thank you, mate.
Bye.